All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. In this video here, gonna touch on the LeBron James is the GOAT because of 2016. We've all heard the clip. There's no need to relive it. But after they won it, he said that makes him the greatest player of all time now. And of course, the lackeys and media minions are going to jump all over it, and they're going to agree with him. They're going to carry the water. Like this fool right here saying the Warriors are the best team of all time.
I beat the best team to ever be beaten in a finals. It's true. So whether it was 3-1, 1-3, 2-2, 0-4, don't matter. The best team to ever be beaten in a finals, I beat them. So
there you go. They're the best team to ever be beaten in the finals because of the record? Is that what we're saying? We're going to take a look at the historical precedent of the 5 greatest teams of all time and how they did in the regular season and in the playoffs, and why I feel the Warriors were simply not close to the same team in the playoffs as they were in the regular season, which means they were not the greatest team ever to lose in a finals. I don't even know what team that would be, but I do know it's not the 2016 Warriors. It's just not. Right off the top of my head, if I had to say what's the best team to ever lose in the finals, I would probably say the 1985 Boston Celtics. That's just my opinion. The number 5 team winning percentage of all time is...
And Chamberlain persists to score over Russell. Al Greer,
the 1967 Philadelphia 76ers. They just beat the Boston Celtics, a team that had just won 8 straight championships. They ended the run and they gentlemen swept them. And then it was on to the finals where they had another test.
Chamberlain is back working in San Francisco, knowing the Warriors.
Wilt Chamberlain was at the peak of his game. He won the MVP in 1966, 67, and 68. So this is right in the middle of that. He's now got Billy Cunningham, Chet Walker, Hal Greer, Luke Jackson. This team was legit.
With Philadelphia winning 125 to 122.
The 1967 Philadelphia 76ers. They were 68-13. That's a .8395 winning percentage. That's the 5th best in NBA history. In the playoffs, they beat Cincinnati in the Eastern Conference Division Finals 3-1. They beat Boston, the 8-time defending champion, Boston Celtics, in 5 games. Then they beat San Francisco in the finals 4-2. The Warriors did present some problems for them, but ultimately the 76ers just had too much firepower. They were just playing too good. The Warriors were never going to win that series. So in the playoffs, the 76ers were 11-4, didn't really have any real trouble. But in that season, in 1967, Wilt Chamberlain won the MVP, like I said. Second for MVP was Nate Thurmond of the Warriors. They played them in the finals. Third for MVP was Bill Russell. They beat them in the East Finals. Fourth was Oscar Robertson. They beat him in the semifinals. And then fifth was Rick Barry, who was also on the Warriors. So they beat 4 of the top 5 for MVP that year, of course, Wilt being the other one. So they beat the best players for that season. And going 11-4 means they just didn't really have any trouble. The Warriors presented the biggest challenge, beat them in 6. No problem. The 4th best team of all time... the 97 Chicago Bulls. Now the Bulls really didn't have any trouble at all until they got to the finals. And you got to understand the Utah Jazz in 97 were a great team. I think they were the best team the Bulls played of the 6 finals opponents. Some people think Phoenix, some people think Seattle, but I think it was the 97 Utah Jazz. That series was tied 2-2, and it took Michael Jordan, under the weather, flu game, food poisoning, whatever, to come up with something miraculous for them to win it.
Classic performance by the flu-ridden Michael Jordan.
The 97 Bulls, 69-13 record, .8414 winning percentage. In the first round, they beat Washington 3-0. No issue at all. There was a couple tight games in there, but no issue. They won easy. Atlanta in the semifinals, a 56-win team. Two of the top 3 players for Defensive Player of the Year. Bulls beat them in 5. Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals. They beat them in 5, although Miami beat Chicago both games in the regular season that were in Miami. In Game 5, Scottie Pippen only played 6 minutes, and the Bulls won like they didn't even need him, at least in that game. And then, like I said, they beat Utah in the finals 4-2. The series was tied 2-2, and it did take a great effort from Michael Jordan to win that Game 5, put them up 3-2, then they won Game 6. No real issues. They weren't pushed to 7. They just did what a great team does. 15-4 in the playoffs. And like I said, they had some formidable competition. They played 3 teams between 56 and 64 wins. That's not exactly a cakewalk. So the Bulls beat the MVP in the finals, Karl Malone. Michael Jordan finished second. Grant Hill was third. Obviously, they didn't play them. Tim Hardaway was fourth. They beat him in the conference finals. Fifth was Glenn Rice. 10 of the top 13 players for MVP in 1997 were in the East. That's right, 10 of the top 13. Those who think that the East was weak, you're sorely mistaken. The third greatest team of all time?
Impossible to stop.
All of a sudden, this team started winning basketball games. And we went.
The 1972 Lakers. Obviously, they had West, they had Will Chamberlain, they had Gail Goodrich, Happy Hairston, Jim McMillan. They were loaded. Great team. And some people wondered if they could actually pull it off because of all the losses in the finals that Will Chamberlain and Jerry West had together. But no, they won it without any real issues.
As they had in 1970, they would face the Knicks. But this year, there would be...
The 1972 Lakers, same as the 97 Bulls, 69-13, .8414 winning percentage. They beat the Bulls in the Western Conference semifinals 4-0. The Bulls were a 57-win team, no slouch. Then they beat Milwaukee, the defending champions, in 6 games. They were a 63-win team themselves. And then in the finals, the team that beat the Lakers in 1970 finals and actually beat the Lakers the next year in 73, the Knicks. They beat them in 5 games. All told, their playoff record was 12-3, marginally better than the Bulls' 15-4. That's why I had them at number 3. And they also beat the MVP, Kareem. Jerry West and Will Chamberlain finished second and third for MVP, totally canceling each other out. John Havlicek was 4th, Spencer Haywood was 5th, but Bob Love of Chicago was 6th. So they beat 2 of the top 4 for MVP that they could have played, not including the 2 Lakers, who were themselves. Some people say they're the greatest team of all time. They're definitely in the running. The second greatest team of all time, record-wise, is...
Now Dennis Scott is guarding Michael Jordan, who shoots over him.
Yeah, you knew Michael Jordan after he struggled in 1995 semifinals in that Game 1. Now, he actually did play a pretty good series. Again, to the contrary of what Nick Wright likes to say, he makes it seem like, oh, they just got destroyed. Well, they got beat up front because they couldn't stop Horace Grant and Shaq. But Michael Jordan, actually, outside of Game 1, didn't play bad at all. Actually, pretty good. But Jordan does what Jordan does.
Shot clock at 5. Jordan posting up Bowie.
The 1996 Chicago Bulls, the second best regular season record of all time. They were 72-10, .8780 winning percentage. First round, they beat Miami 3-0. Then they beat the Knicks 4-1, a team that always played them tough. Then they beat Orlando 4-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Then they beat Seattle 4-2 in the finals. Their playoff record, 15-3. That's the best overall winning percentage, regular season and playoffs combined, of all time. They were 87-13, which comes to 87%. No team in NBA history has won 87% of their games. And Seattle did present some problems in game 4 and 5, but it was already 3-0 and it was over. But in game 6, it was almost like it was one of those games where it was obvious who was going to win. It was just kind of fun. Michael Jordan did not really play very good in that game. He just didn't shoot well. All his other stats were fine. Just from the field, he just didn't shoot well. But finally, he got a little bit of help from the outside. Bulls were knocking down some shots.
Here's Kerr over.
Now for the Bulls in 96, Michael Jordan won the MVP. David Robinson finished second. Penny Hardaway finished third. The Bulls swept them in the conference finals. Hakeem Olajuwon was fourth. Scottie Pippen finished fifth. Gary Payton was sixth. They beat them in the finals. Seventh was Karl Malone. Eighth, Shawn Kemp. They beat him in the finals. And ninth was Shaq. They beat him in the conference finals. Taking out Jordan and Pippen, of the top 7 MVP finishers that are left, the Bulls beat 4 of them because they couldn't even have played David Robinson, Olajuwon, or Malone because they were in the West. Now we got the number 1 regular season team of all time.
Curry, yes!
Golden State, so formidable in the regular season. Lost only 9 games. Unbelievable. But what happened in the playoffs? They had their moments.
Thompson outplayed by Adams. She's over.
But something just didn't feel right about that team. You take a look at them. 2016 Golden State Warriors, 73-9 record, .8902 winning percentage regular season, the greatest of all time. In the first round, they beat Houston 4-1 in the first round. Now that's really weird because the other teams who played a first round, which that would have been only the 96 and 97 Bulls, they got sweeps in both series. But the best team of all time didn't get one. Weird, right? And Houston was a 41-41 team. They actually got a game off of Golden State. Something isn't right. In the next round, they played Portland, a 44-win team. They get a game off Golden State. What is going on? In the semifinals, a 44-win team. And then in the conference finals, they beat OKC in 7 games. They got pushed to 7. If you look at the other 4 teams that I just showed you, none got forced to 7 in any series. They won it all in 6 or less. But not the greatest team. And then in the finals, of course, they were up 3-1. They got beat 4-3. We already know all about the suspension to Draymond Green. Andrew Bogut got hurt, was out game 6 and 7. All told for them in the playoffs, they were 15-9. What? 15-9? The other teams were 11-4, 15-4, 12-3, 15-3. Nobody lost more than 4 games. They lose 9? So in 2016, the MVP was Steph Curry. Kawhi Leonard finished second. Third was LeBron James. They got beat by him. But they did beat Westbrook, who was fourth, and Durant, who was fifth, on the same team. Luckily, by the skin of their teeth, because that series went 7. Chris Paul was 6th. Draymond Green of the Warriors was 7th. Damian Lillard was 8th, and Harden was 9th, and they beat those 2. So they beat 4 of the top 7 MVP finishers, not counting the 2 Warriors. But I think I know what's going on. What happened? A big reason for it was this.
Warriors team finds itself in a position where they could close out this series at home, but will they have to do it without their MVP?
Yeah, Steph Curry got injured, set the tone. Now, he already hurt his ankle. That was a knee injury. Steph Curry, 2016 playoffs, in the first round, only played 2 out of 5 games. Only 38 minutes played total in the series. In the semifinals, he also only played 2 of 5 games, playing only 73 minutes. So obviously the guy is not right. He missed 6 of the first 10 playoff games. In the conference finals, they got down 3-1. Again, I feel like a large part of that is because Curry was injured, no doubt about it. But Klay Thompson played really well, and Curry actually played well, injured or not, in those last 3 games. But in the finals, you could tell something wasn't right. And here's the proof for that. Steph Curry played 6 finals, okay? Here's what his points, rebounds, and assists were. And I think more than the total number, it also shows how active Steph Curry was in those finals. In 2015, Steph Curry averaged 26 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 6.3 assists. And a lot of people say that Dellavedova played him really tough. And he didn't play amazing, but still, 26 points per game. In the 2016 finals, Curry only scored 22.6, well below his season average, 4.9 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. That doesn't look like the same very active Steph Curry that we come accustomed to watching. Okay? In 2017 finals, even with Durant on the team now, 26.8 points per game, 8 rebounds, 9.4 assists. That's a really good line. In 2018, the next year, even more points, 27.5, 6 rebounds, 6.8 assists. These are very good numbers for a 6'3 player. 2019, he goes for 30.5, 5.2 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Pretty good. 2022, his last finals, 31.2 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. What stands out of those 6 finals? Oh, I don't know. The Curry had the least amount of points per game, the least amount of rebounds per game, and the least amount of assists per game. Obviously, this was not the same player. Obviously. A team that lost only 9 games in the regular season and then lost 9 games in the playoffs, yeah, that doesn't wash for me. It just doesn't. Now, you can say that, oh, well, the competition was tough between OKC and Cleveland. It should not have been anything they couldn't handle, though. Even with a hobbled Curry, they still eliminated Oklahoma City, even though OKC just choked it up. But they were up 3-1 on Cleveland, even with the Draymond Green suspension. They should have won that series. And they didn't. And the reason was Curry. If Curry was going to give you those 4, 5, 6 points per game that he was getting in the regular season, they win. But he couldn't. He couldn't get you the rebounds. He couldn't get you the assists because something wasn't right. So to say that Golden State was the greatest team to ever be beaten in a finals, that's just not even close to correct. The greatest team to ever be beaten in a finals is not going to lose 3 out of 4 games twice in the playoffs. Just not going to happen. They're not going to finish 7-7 in the playoffs. That can't be the greatest team to ever lose in the finals. Impossible. So sorry, LeBron. Beating the 2016 Warriors does not make you the GOAT. It just makes it in your own mind. That's a nice win and all, but of course the LeBron media and fans are going to jump all over that. Oh, look at the record, 73-9. A team that couldn't sweep a 41-win team or a 44-win team? Come on. The 72 Lakers swept a 57-win team. The 96 Bulls swept a 60-win team. Sorry, my friends, but that just does not scan for me. But let me know in the comments. Do you think it made LeBron the GOAT? Do you think the Warriors were just as good as ever? Just as good as they were in the middle of the season? Or do you think maybe something was wrong more than the Draymond Green suspension? Specifically, Steph Curry was not himself. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind sharing it, that would be great. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I give daily content, and that's it. Until next time.